Hello, greetings, and welcome back, football fans. As you can see right there down on the field, it looks like there's a pretty big flag that's being thrown onto the plane. Oh wait, no, that's something else. What am I even talking about? But anyways, my apologies because it's not actually Sunday, but it's actually time for another riveting episode of Figure Friday. Oh yes, it is that special time of the week where we spend some quality time together and basically nerd out about all things figure, Funko, merchandise, memorabilia related of all kinds, shapes, colors, and sizes of all sorts. Now, hello, I see you. I see you, grateful. I see you. Hello, hello. Now, before we get to the nitty gritty, I need you guys to do me a favor. If you haven't already, please go grab yourself some eats, snackums if you want to, and also something to drink because I want you guys to be as at ease as possible, and of course to stay hydrated because that is necessary when surviving. But that's you don't have to listen to me. Do it for your body because your body will eventually speak to you. But please go and help yourself. Don't worry about me. I had my dinner not too long ago. It was a delicious brisket burrito, and oh, Lord have mercy. I wish I would have taken my time with it because it was. But that's best served for another time. Now, and don't worry about me. I also have some hydration, of course, as well. It's some delicious sweet tea, and of course, when I run out of that, I do have some water back there, which of course I will consume. Trust and believe. So go ahead and help yourself, folks. Go get your stuff. Go do what you gotta do real quick. I will be here waiting. Plenty of time. Don't worry about that. Goodness gracious. And of course, as always, if you went to work today, I hope you guys went to work. I hope you guys killed it. I hope you made that paycheck, made that bread, made that paper. But if you're still working, please do me a favor. Don't have me on because I'm not trying to get you guys in trouble with your bosses or any kind of higher ups because I really don't want to be the reason that anybody loses their job. That's all I'm saying. So go ahead and go help yourself. I'll be here waiting. Please, we got plenty of time. No rush, really. And of course, as you know, time. I know they say it waits for no man, but trust me, we will make time wait for us. We will make time be ours. Okay, let me prepare that right there. Chill. Okay, cool. Oh, lovely. Makes you all stretch too. Doesn't hurt to stay a little, limber and loose. Okay, so I hope you guys are ready because we have hit that 3-minute marker, so we are going to go ahead and get started on tonight's show. I would like to say hello and welcome back to those who are just joining us, or if you are watching this as a highlight. What is on my finger? Oh, you mean this? It's actually a new addition that I have procured. It's a ring. Check the blingage. Check it. Of course, it's sporting one of my favorite animals, the wolf, of course. Still can't send any gifts. Really? Like you can't send gifts, period? Or just like the higher up ones? Let me ask you that. Which is really weird because I was actually watching a few other lives today, and like it's weird because they actually have people send them galaxies and everything. I don't know if it's on my end or if it's just over there on their end. I really don't know, but I do hope that they get that fixed, honestly. So again, I want to say hello and welcome back for those who are just joining us, or if you're watching this as a highlight. Won't let me buy any. Still says they're working on it. Really? Well, that's new. But again, I do hope that they get that figured out. So tonight's episode is actually kind of coalescing with a very big event that is happening this Sunday, which of course is actually Super Bowl Sunday. And the only reason I say that is because tonight will feature two opposing forces going head to head. And of course, I thought that we could actually share them in the same theme due to the fact that they're coming straight out of the history books. Fix PSN. What? Why? I didn't even know the PSN was down until a few minutes ago. Tell your man to fix PSN. Heck, stop trying to download too many games. He's probably burning them out. But that's better for another point. Heck. But I mean, hey, you can tell him. You can tell him I said that. If he's got a problem with it, he can come in here and tell me right now. I'm right here. I'm right here. But again, for those who guys who are having their comments filtered, come on, do better, okay? Be better. Come on. We're all adults here, okay? Now, the reason I say that we're stepping back into tonight's history books is because we'll be telling a tale of how free men actually ended up standing against the rising of the tide of a tyrant. So I invite you guys to please sit back, relax, kick your feet up, take a deep breath, and just chill and mellow out with your boy. Because as you know, it's just you, me, and the merchandise of tonight. So why don't we go ahead and get started, huh? So, well, thank you so much, Brent, for the share. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And again, your man is being scared right now. That's perfectly understandable. So, first up, I thought that we can go ahead and introduce tonight's away team captain, and of course, the coach, if you will, and leader who actually considers himself somewhat of a god and yet still was able to bleed. So, the only reason I say that, folks, is because he's sporting a lot of gold, not only like to his people, but also a little gold on the facial features as well. So, please, ladies and gents, give our first big wolf pack welcome. Now, I didn't say you have to take a knee or kneel to him because I don't feel like you should. But please, give a first big wolf pack welcome to Mr. Xerxes. Super wants my hat. Well, you know what? He is more than welcome to come try and take it, ma'am. But in doing so, he's going to have to basically pick his poison on this wall back here because I'm not afraid to use any of it. But as I said, folks, the self-proclaimed God King has, decided to visit us this evening with a declaration of his history. Okay. Bam. There he is, folks. And again, as you can see, he's sporting the traditional Persian wear, if you will. Got some blingage on the face. He's got plenty of rings on the fingers, bracelets, little anklet bracelets too, gold chains out the wazoo. It's ridiculous because he's literally bathing in gold right now. Okay, now the declaration of his history basically goes a little bit like this. Xerxes here is a legendary king of Persia who, ironically, is actually based off of the actual King Xerxes who wanted to rule the world and conquer Greece, especially Sparta. Now, when Xerxes actually took it upon himself to actually approach his foe on the field of battle, he offered him wealth and power. However, in exchange for not only his city, but also his submission. Now, unfortunately, he decided to decline and mock the inferior quality of Xerxes' fanatical warriors, if you will, declaring them, just sort of meager and basically just lower than low, because, low enough to be under his standards. Now, in response, Xerxes actually sends in an elite guard force known as the Immortals, and the opposing team actually ended up defeating them, nonetheless with sort of minimal losses. They still lost a few teammates, but still with a slight help from sort of like a sidebar from a race known as the Arcadians. However, when we fast forward to the second day, Xerxes actually sends in a new waves of armies from both Asia and other Persian subject states. Dan, Gabby, thanks so much for the gift. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Including such things as war elephants to crush the opposing team, but to no avail. And of course, meanwhile, an embittered Ephialtes, who was basically a shunned teammate on the opposing team, decided to switch sides, and of course, decided to work for Xerxes. Thanks so much for the follow. Appreciate you. Welcome to the Wolfpack. Right there. Appreciate you. But again, he actually ended up revealing a secret path in exchange for wealth, women, and luxury. And of course, a Persian uniform, a nice, shiny Persian uniform. And of course, on day 3, the Persians, actually led by the traitor, actually traverse through the secret path, ensnaring and encircling the Spartans. Now, Xerxes' general, he actually again he actually gives them one final chance to ask for their surrender and their submission. Now, here's where it kind of threw me for a loop, because the team captain on the other side actually ended up kneeling in submission, but it was a clever ruse because it allowed another teammate of his to leap over him and basically take down that opposing general. Now, angered in that submission, Xerxes has ordered his troops to attack all at the same time. And in that split second, the opposing team captain actually tosses a spear at the God King and ended up cutting his cheek. Much to his shock, however, the opposing team actually ended up leaving him with a nasty scar. And they ended up fighting to the last man was standing, and they finally submitted and succumbed to an all-out arrow barrage that literally blocked out the sun, thus bringing an end to the opposing team. My goodness gracious. Oh, goodness. My apologies for the gas, folks. Okay. Now, I did find out some pretty interesting facts about Sir Xerxes here. For example, did you guys know that the brutality of 300s, Xerxes was also based on the historical triumphs on several rebellions within the empire itself? Now, I know that doesn't really make sense, but it is true because I was able to look back at the actual history between Xerxes, must just be my end on the gift giving. Huh. Well, honestly, I do hope that they get that fixed out. I do hope that they get the gift situation figured out because, I mean, I know that there are a lot of folks that rely on this specific source for a source of income. So, again, I do hope that they get that fixed. Hint, hint, TikTok! But, anyways, also, I did find out that the historical Xerxes, ironically, he actually didn't declare himself as a god, which is one of the main things that's sort of like a twist between actual history and the absolute cinema world. And probably the most interesting fact that I found out is that his defeat in Greece, it actually marked the beginning of the decline of the Achaemenid Empire, which I thought was really interesting because me being somewhat of a history buff, it's the fact that to this day, whenever the name Xerxes comes up, or even the name Greece or Sparta, I guarantee you it will always circle back to that one faithful time when it took 3 days for a single group of fighters to go up against an entire nation of the God King. But again, okay, Mr. God King, take a seat right there, okay? Jiu-Jitsu, welcome, everybody, welcome in. I do hope that you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful Friday evening. Thank you so much for liking it live. Appreciate the shares and all that. You guys are amazing. But before we move on, I want to make sure you guys are keeping hydrated, that you're keeping safe. Ooh, little gas. Sorry about that. That's the tea talking. My apologies. Okay, you guys good? Because we're going to be moving into another portion of tonight's spectacular episode. Okay. Oh, I'm also sorry, y'all. My allergies are killing. They've been kicking since this morning, but that's also because the wind was kicking my butt. But either way, okay. So next up, now that we've introduced the away team, it's time to introduce the home team. Yes, that's right, folks. The home team's captain as well as coach and a real king. So please, ladies and gents, give one more big Wolfpack welcome. And of course, probably going to take a knee to this specific character, to Mr. Leonidas. Yes, that's right, folks. The one who made the God King bleed has graced us with his presence this fine Friday evening. And of course, we're going to, again, he is the king. Of course, we take a knee for King Leonidas. Okay. Now, he has also given me his blessing to share his wonderful story. First, I must retrieve him from his encampment. Okay, there we go. And again, this is 300s Leonidas, played by Gerard Butler. Again, an absolute beautiful cinematic triumph, and I'm so happy that I was able to watch it. And to this day, I can watch it and never get bored with it, honestly. So, Mr. Leonidas' story, it goes a little something like this. He is the human king of Sparta and a warrior. Born and bred from a young age, Leonidas was literally bathed in battle, you know? And of course, the education of the Spartan boys, the agoge, was actually that of, it was mostly comprised of violence. And at the age of 7, he was actually pulled away from his family and forced to live on his own, and where he fought and stole to get by until slaying a wolf in single combat. And he actually ended up returning home to become king until one faithful day, a Persian messenger actually arrived to request the surrender of Sparta. Now, after the messenger actually ended up disrespecting Sparta and his queen, Leonidas actually ended up making a proclamation that Xerxes will not set foot in Sparta, and he will not have Sparta in any way, shape, or form. Now, even though they say that both sides should be mutual against the messenger, and don't shoot the messenger, well, Leonidas actually ended up not caring about that because he was so much of a Persian hater. So he actually ended up kicking him into a pit, while his men did the same thing with the Persians, who actually ended up riding in with the messenger. Now, in response to Persia's approach, Leonidas actually ended up visiting with the Ephors to request their blessing to go to war. Basically, who the Ephors were sort of like the prophets, if you will, who could see the foreseeable future, events, all that, and everything. But honestly, they were just pompous, inbred swine who were actually ended up getting paid off by the Persians. Now, against the word of the Ephors and the oracle, Leonidas gathered 300 of his best Spartans to march against the Persians into Thermopylae and face the god king Xerxes. Now, as he marched forward, he came across the Arcadians, saying that they actually heard Sparta was marching to war, so they wanted to join in on the fight. And of course, the only thing that's different about them is that they were actually sort of displeased by their numbers, because they only brought like a small number of them, and they weren't really a team of warriors. They had things. They had people who did like pottery. I believe there was a masonry, and there was actually even like I think like the most or like the only one who got respect was a blacksmith. But I mean, can you blame him? He's a blacksmith. He makes weapons, so why not give him respect? Sorry, it's a work phone. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. Appreciate you coming back. Now, Leonidas actually ended up asking a few of the Arcadian soldiers what their profession was. Much to his dismay, he didn't really like, the answer. Now, when he took it upon himself to ask his Spartans, resulting what their professions were, they unified together in a big-time war cry that literally echoed throughout the entire mountain and landscape, honestly. Hello and greetings, Desiree. Hello and good evening. Yes, hello and good evening. Hello and good evening. Now, on the final day, which was the third day, Xerxes took one last army to the battlefield against the Spartans. Leonidas actually feigns acceptance before stabbing Xerxes in the cheek with a spear. Now, much to his dismay, again, even though they gave everything that they had and that they fought with all their might, Leonidas and his men are actually massacred during the Battle of Thermopylae. Now, when we fast forward a year later, fellow Spartan Delios, who was actually sent back home by Leonidas, he didn't want him to, but he had to because he had that cut across his eye, which kind of narrowed his depth perception. He actually concluded the tale of Leonidas in front of an army of Spartans, explaining how his valiant resistance had affected the morale of the Persian army and caused the Greek cities to come together into a massive army of over 40,000 strong Greeks who ended up going to battle with 100,000 Persians on the battlefields of Plataea. And yes, it is true. Again, I know the fact that that the Greece numbers were small, as opposed to like being outnumbered about 60,000. That's not really a chore for them due to the fact that Spartans are literal warriors, like right from birth. They're bathed in war and battle. So, I mean, 100,000 is literally light work for 40,000. I'm just saying. Now, I did find out some pretty interesting fun facts about King Leonidas here. For example, did you guys know that Leonidas was actually the third son of King Alexandrus II, which is really interesting. Now, it is true. Again, I know I said it before, but I feel like I should, include this one again. Is that at the age of 7 years old, Leonidas actually started his training. Now, probably the most interesting fact. Now, this also goes out to you poem lovers. I'm not gonna lie. Leonidas was actually the name of an epic poem that was written by Richard Glover, which originally appeared in the year of 1737, and of course, it went on to appear in 4 other editions, being expanded from 9 books to 12. And I mean, honestly, that's making a huge leap due to the fact that it's a poem about one of the most epic warriors, throughout history. Okay. Wait, did he come with a stand? Yes, he did. Okay, cool. I got to make sure he comes with a stand sometimes, but I don't think he's going to need it. But, I mean, I'll keep it to be on the safe side, so who knows? Okay. Now, before we get up out of here, folks, I just want to say, again, how grateful I am to each and every single one of you guys. I appreciate y'all so much for coming to visit me this evening and spending so much quality time with me. I do appreciate you guys for all the likes, the shares, the gifts. I do hope that they get the gift situation, situated. But I look forward to seeing you guys next week for another riveting segment. And as always, folks, stay safe, stay awesome, stay weird, stay yourselves, and be zen as always, huh? Peace.